Hi guys, welcome or welcome back, whatever that means to you, if it's first time or you're not first time. This week we're going to be talking about what's up, and we're going to be talking about what's up the week of June the 14th through the 20th of June 2021. So we begin this week with a lot of energy in play, right? Mars just moved into Leo. Hello. We've been talking about the Sun squaring Neptune, the Sun in conjunct Pluto, Venus in conjunct Saturn, Mars in conjunct Jupiter, right? And so all of these things we talked about as being really committed to our openness and our own healing and healing habits, right? And really being aware of the distinction between what we do and how we feel. And we begin this week with the second perfection of the Saturn-Uranus square that is dominating our skies throughout 2021. And there's a whole other video on that and what that means, the dynamic tension that is Saturn-Uranus square. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go like this and like that because that's what we saw. So anyway, we're talking about the second perfection of this square. The first, of course, was in February, on the 17th of February. The last will be on the 24th of December. Now, this is about dynamic tension between Saturn, which is the planet of rules, boundaries, and restrictions, and the planet Uranus, which is about shift, change, sudden awarenesses, right? That insight, that moment where you go, oh, I get it, right? That aha, that eureka, that is Uranus. Uranus is also seismic shifts from the ground up, right? Things that rock your foundations. And with all of that energy in the background, let's talk about how this Saturn-Uranus square happens, and it creates a T-square to the moon, okay? So Saturn is opposing a Leo moon, and Uranus is at the apex of this T-square, right? Wow! Creating this real depth to this rather removed almost, right? We want to talk about Saturn and Uranus as, you know, a gas giant. And, you know, those are those transpersonal planets. And then our social planets. Well, the moon being in this T-square at this second perfection brings really the personal level into this square. And as that happens, right, we want to be aware of what that means. That means that we have to really, really be in our alignment. How do we fit? How do we create from and in and as, right, our own routines and our own shifts and changes? How do we become those shifts and changes as we allow the shift in ourselves to seismically create shifts in our tectonic plates that affect the entire cosmos, right? This is about the nature of reality. It's about the nature of our reality. The rest of this week is a little interesting through the middle of the week, until we get to the end of the week, of course, when we have the summer solstice, when the sun moves into Cancer. So let's talk about the rest of this week. On Tuesday, the 15th, right, we have a Leo moon that is going to aspect Mercury and Neptune, then go void, of course, and then aspect the Sun and Pluto, right? So this is about communications from your deepest hearts, shifts from your bedrock. This week is about asking yourself, what are you actually creating, right? What have we been creating? Saturn-Uranus square, and the moon. How does it feel? How does your trajectory since February feel to you? Are you satisfied with it? Are you content? Are you fulfilled? And if not, now you have an opportunity to be in awareness of that, right, in your depths. On Wednesday, the moon aspects Jupiter and Chiron and Saturn and Uranus, right? And the sun is in conjunct Pluto. So this is very much a day where you might be over analytical, hard on yourself, and be aware of the places where you're overpromised, right, where you're unhealed, and find those places where you perhaps have been a little hard on yourself, where you have been not so kind, right, or self-sabotaging, right, and perhaps then be aware of how you might shift and change that in a better way, right? Since we're talking about communications from the depths, since we're talking about bedrock level shifts, this is that experience that is going to allow you to really sit in the mirror and say, well, where am I being my own worst adversary? Where am I being my own biggest roadblock, right? Am I piling the stones up higher in front of myself, or am I going to be able to move those to climb up and over this hurdle? On Thursday, again, we have aspects to Mercury and Venus and Neptune and Pluto, and the moon is square the sun, right? So this is about really making sure that you're being precise in your communications, and being mindful of where your insecurities are in the places that involve your love, your comfort, your sense of 3D happiness and home. And so it's about balancing those external things with your subconscious and listening to your soul, not your brain, right? Pluto can help because if you're paying attention, you will notice and be inspired by your dreams and synchronicities, right? This is that day to ask yourself, who really am I? Where am I going? And most importantly, why? Why am I going there, right? On Friday, the moon moves into Libra and aspects Jupiter and Mars and Chiron, right? So we might be eased up on our over-analytical, really hard on ourselves tendencies, but we are also able to increase our balance with our feelings, right? It will be easier to find your feet on the path and move forward in a little more balance of expression, perhaps toward that place of healing, perhaps toward that place allowing us to expand from our depths. And then on Saturday, that moon is going to aspect Chiron and Saturn and Uranus and Mercury and Venus and Neptune and Pluto before going forward, of course, right? So this is a day where you might want to shift your definitions of who you are, right? And find the energy that lives in the beauty of the order of your experience, right? How you experience contentment and fulfillment, and where you are utilizing your own personal power in service or to sidetrack yourself, right? We're always doing one. We're either moving toward it or we're moving away from it. So you can find, this is very interesting. You might be able to find those answers, right, on that day. And then on Saturday, Saturday, 10 a.m. Central, Jupiter moves retrograde, right? Jupiter in Pisces. And we know that this is all about really having access to the magic of your subconscious, which is beautiful, a beautiful thing. But almost immediately, Jupiter thank you, aspects the moon and the sun, right? And so this is about rethinking, right? Where, like I said, where is that energy going and coming? Where is it in support of, and where is it to your detriment? And it's about really finding the answer to that question, and really exploring how you're experiencing either being in consent to your joy or in denial of, right? And so ask yourself, what is it that you are creating? And does it feel like home? Does it feel like joy? Does it feel like bliss? Does it feel like that thing that will welcome you for the rest of your life? Does it feel like when you close your eyes, you are home? And if not, you're going to want to be in reevaluation of all of your process. Simply because once the sun moves into Cancer, about 6:30 p.m., that feeling, that awareness, that sense of home, right, is going to have to be innate, right? We've got a Cancer sun, we've got Jupiter retrograde in Pisces. You will have access to the deepest exploration of your feeling experience. And as such, if those things are out of alignment, nothing is going to feel right. And as we are in these giant cycles right now, and we are moving toward Mercury going direct, and then Neptune going retrograde, and Venus moving into Leo, we have some splaining to do, right? And that splaining is to ourselves. So let's go through these quickly, right? So Monday, that Saturn-Uranus square, again, perfects for the second time. And so we have the Tower and the Three of Pentacles. The Tower is about sudden cataclysmic change, right? Hello, Uranus. And the Three of Pentacles is about teamwork, collaboration, working together. Saturn and the Moon in opposition, right? What feels like progress and what feels like destruction, and how do we balance those ideas in our heads so that not only are we experiencing the optimal edge of both of them, but that both of those energies are at our beck and call, right? So that we have the ability to create and discard what is not necessary, to create anew with others outside of ourselves, right? That Moon is always looking for collaboration, for teamwork, for connection, right? It's not enough to be building a thing. There has to be purpose behind its being built. You know, what do you do versus how you feel? What do you do versus how you feel? Well, if you're not doing something with purpose, if you don't keep that why in mind, there's absolutely no point in doing it. None at all. And so on Tuesday, we're talking about that communication, right, from your deepest heart, and shifting at that bedrock level. Well, we've got the Ace of Wands, we've got the Five of Swords, and we know that the Five of Swords is Pyrrhic victory, right? It's victory that's not really victory. It's I won, but I didn't really win anything. I just won in my head. I just won in theory. And the Ace of Wands is very much an ace of practice, right? The Ace of Wands is about passion and inspiration and creative ideas and putting those things into action. And with Mars in Leo, we definitely have those options. And the Leo moon at this point in time definitely gives us the flex, right, to put those feelings into action, not just into blah, 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 right? Five of Swords is I get bragging rights, but the Ace of Wands is no, this is what we're doing now, right? So this is about bedrock shifting, right, in terms of your heart and yourself. Do you want to be able to say, oh, I've got a thing, right? Or do you want to actually be living that life, right? And so this is what's fake and what's real. Your heart knows the difference, and your mouth is never going to catch up. So pay attention. On Wednesday, we are talking about kind of that Virgo moon being a little hard on the self, right? And so we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups can be a card of illusion, right? It can be a card of having so many choices, or of definitely not really keeping our eyes on the prize, right? And we know that that's important, and not to get caught up in the nonsense. But with this Ace of Pentacles here, this is really an opportunity, as the Sun is in conjunct Pluto, right, to really be in our own power in terms of creation, recreation, and resourcing, right? And that resourcing being, of course, tangible or intangible. It's about how we walk through the world, how we practically create our lives, and not getting caught up in the illusion of false beliefs, in the illusion of what a thing looks like, right? Again, we're looking for creation. We're not looking for talk. We're looking for real, not fake. We're looking for these aces, not this nonsense, fighting for something that's not real. So ask yourself, what's your intention, right? This is all about the why. Thursday, we're talking about that super precise communication, and that really being in sight of your own insecurities, right? Asking ourselves, who are we and what are we doing? Ten of Wands is all about putting down anything that's extraneous, any beliefs that we don't require, right? Anything that's caught up in that sense of illusion. It's overwhelming to carry nonsense like that, right? We put it down, and we trust that the inception points, these aces, are going to grow, right? Seven of Pentacles, he looks kind of sad in this card, but Seven of Pentacles is really just about faith in your planting, right? It's about knowing that your harvest is coming, right? And it's about, again, being willing to put things down in service to the greater, knowing that what we put down will always be for our benefit, because what we require is always provided for us, right? Absolutely. And then Friday, that's the day that the moon moves into Libra. And so we're going to be, again, finding our balance, right? Moving toward healing. So we've got this Ace of Cups, right? The Five of Wands. That's kind of a card of posturing, right? So as that Libra moon is in opposition to Chiron, right, we might have a moment where we're feeling into the past instead of feeling into the now, right? Ace of Cups offering us newness and feeling in the here and now, new ways to feel. And the Five of Wands perhaps asking us, but I'm going to hold on to these old things, and I'm going to keep them in front of me, right? I'm going to, nobody's really actually at battle here. They're just talking about their nonsense, right? These fives, they're kin, right? In that they don't really accomplish anything. And you have all this brand new opportunity energy here. So what is more important, right? Are you going to move towards action, or are you going to hold on to the past? Well, guess what? On Saturday, that Libra moon is asking us to shift our definition, right? Shift our definition of who and where is our energy? Where are we going to put our energy? Well, we have the star. This is wish fulfillment, right? This is beautiful, beautiful energy. This is hope. This is optimism. This is knowing that the stars have your back, And this Knight of Pentacles, he is the slowest moving knight in the deck, right? But he's bringing all of these resources, right? Absolutely all of these resources your way. And he moves slowly but surely, always toward his destination, which is wish fulfillment. So whatever it is that you're doing and putting into action, right, this shift in your energy is going to create this shift in your movement. And then on Sunday, right, Sunday, Jupiter goes into retrograde, the sun moves into Cancer. We are rethinking our energy, right? Where are we going? Does it feel like home? What are we creating? And do we want to sanction creating more of it, or do we need to change that? Well, that's a great question. Queen of Cups, she's the embodiment of your emotional balance, your emotional awareness. She is feeling your feelings, your bliss, your joy, having a full cup and knowing it. And the Two of Wands is having made that choice, that heart-based choice, that inspired choice that feels like home, that feels like love, knowing that no other choice will ever do, right? And with the sun moving into Cancer at summer solstice, and we are now in full swing of retrograde season, that is asking us, where is your heart? Have you chosen it? And if not, you know what's going to happen, right? We all know what happens when we don't choose our heart. And with these three aces, you are being asked, this is new territory, right? You're being advised to put down what's not been working, what's not been feeling like home, and create that new experience that you're looking for, right? You have this supported release with all of these pentacles, right? In faith, knowing that what is happening for you, and that your inspiration is there. Well, we've got Fractally Delicious. Fractally Delicious is all about making that next right choice, making that next right choice. And with all these aces and the star, and this giant release here, and this heart-based choices, Fractally Delicious is asking you, choose. And if it's not right, choose again. And if it's not right, choose again. And if it's not right, choose again. There is nothing that you require that is not already yours, right? And even if there was, what's for you is always for you, right? There's nothing that you can do to shift or change that. No matter what happens, no matter how far the pieces of the tower expand out, if they're your pieces, they're always coming back. They're always coming back. This ace is always going to deliver it to you, no matter how far it flies. This ace is always going to bring it back, no matter how much little nonsense you dance up in a cloud, no matter how much, you want to talk around a thing, it doesn't matter, right? These two sevens remind you what is for you is always yours. And this perspective of yours, whether you're waiting or whether you're caught up in illusion, is simply allowing you to get back to yourself. Always the quest is inward. Always the quest is inward, right? We're not fractaling out. We're fractaling towards center each and every time. We've got the Andean cross. The Andean cross represents the cosmology of the shaman. It depicts the four cardinal directions, the upper and lower worlds, and the steps to reach these realms. The hole in the center is a gateway to interdimensional travel, the proverbial eye of the needle we can all go through to experience higher states of awareness and wisdom, and to break free of linear time. Really? And to break free of linear time. These represent linear time, right? These represent linear time. This represents breaking free of linear time, right? and accepting what the universe is giving you over and over again, asking you to step into, right? Break free of linear time. The invitation. The Andean cross announces the start to a great journey. It's time to raise your gaze from the mundane day to day to that which until now has seemed beyond your grasp. Allow new wisdom to guide you and stop trying to make sense of it all before you respond with a resounding yes. These aces, as we know, are an invitation from the universe that must be grasped, assented to gratefully, and then put into action. Mars in Leo. The time has passed and the window of opportunity has closed. Now is not the moment to take the leap you have been over preparing for. It is best to wait until conditions in heaven line up again to offer you a more wow. I don't know this word. Beneficial moment. Any bold action you take now will require tremendous effort on your part. Just as important as knowing when to act is knowing when to return to your inner stillness and wait for more favorable times, right? So we are accepting this energy. We are letting go of what we know we need to let go of. And we are just choosing differently. We're choosing to allow the new timelines, right? We're choosing to allow our higher self to run the show as we prepare for Mercury to go direct, Neptune to go retrograde, right? Venus to join Mars in Leo. And we have a big full moon at 3 Capricorn on the 24th. So this week, get into yourself. Really be in communication with yourself, with your desires, with what it is that you feel is home. Not what looks like home, not what sounds like home, not what you can describe as home, right? Not what passes for an illusion of home, but what feels like home, right? With these aces and the star and the Queen of Cups, right? What feels like home to you? And absolutely anything that is not in support of that energy is going to go. It's just going to go. Allow it to go, right? If it's yours, it will come back. And if it's not, something else will be delivered, right? What's the phrase? Equal or greater, right? So just kind of be in your breathing space. Again, we're really talking about staying committed to your openness, being in your open-ended questions. And with every answer, check in with your heart, check in with your body, check in with your feelings, and ask yourself, how does this feel? And that's your answer. Not what do I think, right? Don't fight in the middle of the week as we have that Virgo moon. Don't fight and let your brain have dominance. Stay in your feelings. Stay in your feelings. Stay in your feelings, right? We will talk about Mercury. We will talk about Neptune. We will talk about Venus. We will talk about the full moon. We have a lot to talk about next week. So please, this week, keep breathing and just stay in it, right? As we approach this fullness of summer and we're really grinding through this second perfection of this Saturn-Uranus square, be in your feels. Keep asking yourself, where am I in this dynamic motion? Where am I? Where do I find the balance? Where do I find what feels like home, right? That's the only way you find it. That is your divining rod, right? Right, guys? I mean, come on, seriously. There's nothing but blessing here for you. All you have to do is allow it. So just allow it, right? Big blessings. Till next time.